How are we doing, team? Hope you're doing well. I thought I'd make this video if, like me, you want to drop 10 pounds in 4 weeks while eating a pint of ice cream every single night. So in these last 3 weeks, I've lost 7.5 pounds, on track to lose 10 pounds over this 4 week mini cut. Wanted to give myself some good runway for when I get into a bulk, so I wanted to get myself in a leaner starting point. I didn't want to make that hell because I've already spent a good chunk of this year being super strict on my progress. Did a bodybuilding prep earlier this year. So I wanted to try and pull things off fairly aggressively whilst maintaining a very nutrient dense diet, fueling good performance, so I can just put myself in the best possible position for the start of my gaining phase. I'm going to run you through exactly what I've done and how you can eat some delicious food whilst aggressively dieting as well. So step one is having a base meal plan set. Why do I love meal plans? Because it gets rid of a ton of the guesswork. If you just have macro targets, which is really the first step, you want to have some targets to actually create that meal plan around. But if all you have is macro targets, then understand that that's going to be prone to abuse. You're likely going to favor more palatable, less nutrient dense foods. You're likely going to screw up your meal timings. So I think having those targets there as a baseline is very important. I think you should at least try to factor in a good few meals so that you can stay much more consistent with things way easier. Now, what I've done within my meal plan is I've had my evening meal as a higher fat protein source. So I've tracked things like salmon or steak, anything that's going to be a little higher in calories due to a higher fat content. Now, what this means is if I want to use a leaner protein source for my evening meal, if I've planned that ahead of time, I know I've got some fats that I can sprinkle elsewhere throughout the day. So the key to constructing a meal plan really effectively and not making it too restrictive is understanding how to make really easy food swaps from the meals that you have structured for yourself. So for example, my meal 2 is usually going to be chicken, some carb source, and veg. Now, most carb sources can be easily swapped out, right? 50 grams of dry rice or dry uncooked pasta, all going to have a very similar macronutrient profile. So you can effectively chop and change between these without having to sort of account for different portion sizes. Potato is usually about 4 times that. So if you're having approximately 50 grams of rice, pasta, potato, you're going to have about 200 grams. Now, those portion sizes are going to be about the same as one large tortilla wrap as well. So if you're out and about, you require a carb source that you want to quickly chop and change to without having to figure out different portion sizes, then 50 grams or 100 grams, anything with a multiplier that you've got a few different things that you can pick and choose from is really ideal because it's going to keep your meals super interesting. If one night I wanted to have lean chicken breast and rice and make a stir fry out of it, then awesome. If I wanted to do a pasta bolognese, then that's effectively going to be the same thing. I don't believe in tracking veg intake. Why is this? Because veg is very nutritious. You're not really going to want to get rid of that as you diet, and because it's so low in calories, you're going to be able to have a large amount of it without it really impacting your daily intake. So I prefer to have that in there as a constant that I never really track the calories from because I'm never really going to have to get rid of it. The same with things like low-calorie sauces. This could apply to something like Nando's sauce. This could even apply to tin tomatoes, which will also double as a veg serving. So from those options, you can make so many different meals as long as you have those base portion sizes accounted for. And then you can potentially put other carbs in your post-workout meal because that's something that you're probably going to make fresh every day. You don't have to worry about prepping it. So that is how I make my meal plan work really nicely for me. That's a strategy that I like to use with a lot of my clients as well so that they have good options available. They don't get too bored eating the same things every day. They've still got that good structure there that means that they know exactly what they're taking in, keeps them nice and accurate and consistent on plan so that they can get good results. Now, what I've also done is with these smaller portion sizes has also allowed me to save up a certain amount of calories every single day. So my meal plan will end up coming to around 2,200 calories. And I want to be eating 2,600. So what that means is I've got about 400 calories spare. And because from the meal plan, I don't really track things around that because I know from that meal plan that I'm having 2,200 calories, That means that the only thing that I then have to actually track that day is my 400 additional calories of choice. Within that meal plan, I've included a variety of vegetables. I've included a small variety of different fat sources. I've included a variety of protein sources. So I'm trying to have as much nutrient density in my food as possible. And as long as you've covered those bases, then you can probably explore a few other foods. So what I've been doing is every single evening, I've been having either a pint of low-calorie Halo Top ice cream, usually looking 300 to 400 calories per tub, or I've been making a Ninja Creami. If you are not on the Ninja Creami hype yet, you're missing out. This is a absolute fat loss hack. You can make delicious ice cream, higher in protein, and literally going to be like 300 calories a pint. It's insane what you can put together with that thing. Unfortunately, not sponsored, but would highly, highly recommend. It makes fat loss an absolute breeze. And that means that with one of those two snacks, I'm finishing off my calories, some additional carbs and fats, potentially a little bit of protein in there as well. Lots and lots of options. Means I've got that something to look forward to every single day. That means that I can stay very, very consistent with my plan, don't have any cravings. It just makes the entire process loads easier. So that is how I make my meal plan work for me, and how I actually integrate some spare calories into that once I've covered the bases with all the nutrients that I need to get in. I'm a huge believer in micronutrient intake, and that can be one of the shortfalls of something like If It Fits Your Macros, and that's literally how you solve all of those problems. If you found this useful, feel free to drop a like, a comment, send it to a friend who needs help getting shredded. If you want to use these kind of strategies and much more to get in the shape of your life, like many of my clients have, feel free to drop me a follow on Instagram and DM me the word coaching. I'll happily show you some of the other strategies that I use to make effective nutrition stupid simple to guarantee your success from every angle. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.